Hello, and welcome to Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on episode 10 of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. Oh dear, that smug face really does not bode well. And that she intends to give him a little treat, that doesn't bode well either. You know, this intentionally vague language indicates to me that she's trying to entrap him. I mean, naturally, his mind drifts to a very understandable place, but something tells me, what he thinks she means is not what she means. Well, you know what? That's not what Senpai was thinking of, but in terms of the hierarchy of things she could have possibly given him, you know, this is like a close second, I would say. It almost feels like a weird deliberate product placement here, even though it's not like a real thing. I don't know. Oh dear, you know, I think I already know where things are going now. Senpai is doing some exercise, and naturally, Nagatoro being the somewhat athletic person she is, I feel like she's going to use this as an opportunity to, help him or train with him or do something. You know, she seems like kind of serious about this, which is a bit unusual. Oh dear. So she's actually like kind of serious about this. Like, that was an embarrassing display. I feel like she's going to be his personal trainer or something. You know what? Like, I feel like this is just foreshadowing. It's laying the groundwork for Senpai to get, like, absolutely shredded and become an absolute Giga Chad. Ooh. Ooh, Senpai, that is a defeatist mentality right there. Here we go, Nagatoro. Tell him what's what. You know what? I am rooting unabashedly for Nagatoro now, because he's bringing that defeatist attitude that I hate so much that, you know, there's no point in trying if you don't already have natural talent. Like, that's just not true. Everybody sucks at everything initially. And I guess rather than being a personal trainer, Nagatoro's going to take part in this too. And, you know, boy, Senpai's a lucky man. I feel like he's going to look this gift horse in the mouth. You know, he has a cute girl essentially exercising with him, trying to get him into better shape, and I mean, I could understand, you know, not exactly being a sterling athlete myself, that in the midst of the physical activity, it would be a rather uncomfortable and unenjoyable experience, but at the same time, looking at things as a whole, life could certainly be worse. Well, you know what, Senpai... Oh dear. You know, he's got the right idea here. You know, you don't have to think dirty thoughts if you're running in front of her and can't see her. But at the same time, she interprets that as a challenge. And in terms of endurance, I don't think Senpai can keep up, being the noodly armed, pasty nerd that he is. Okay, so Nagatoro is taking the approach of denigrating him for quitting, rather than trying to encourage him or to bargain. I mean, I could kind of see it working, in that if she ticks him off, he'll get back to it. I mean, it seems like it's working, but I'm not sure if this is necessarily the right strategy. Well, you know, running 5 kilometers, like, I feel like that's a pretty big thing to do with no prior training. You know, maybe start with, like, 1 or 2. But, you know, then again, I'm no athlete. Although, at the very least, it does seem like Nagatoro is making a couple decent points here, you know. If you're taking care of your body as you go, you're not going to pay for it tomorrow as much. And that's true to a degree, but, you know, if you're exercising a lot and you're not used to it, like, you are going to feel it tomorrow. You know, I feel like this is almost just an excuse for Nagatoro to show off a little bit. Oh dear, I think I know where this is going. She's gonna stretch him like taffy. Man. I mean, as someone who's not particularly flexible, like, I can feel that in my tendons. Yeah, you know, I think Senpai's right. You know, maybe start a little bit slower. You know, ease your way into the 5K run. Oh dear. Of course, it had to be Yoshi who came and saw what precisely is going on. I mean, I guess it makes sense that someone like her would only misinterpret this as the fusion dance from Dragon Ball. Uh-oh. It's the classic dilemma. Senpai needs a model for his art. Naturally, he has a willing subject. Now, given that Nagatoro just sort of barged in, I feel like we're not hearing the whole story here. But at the same time, you know, it really seems like it's pretty straightforward. He just can't find anyone who's willing to do it. Ooh. Nagatoro pushed too far. He's not willing to just lie down and beg for her to deign to stand and model for him. Oh, that's actually interesting. He wants to have a male model this time. Granted, he's not going to be a naked model or anything, but poor Nagatoro. I feel like this has to, kind of smack her confidence a little bit. Now, it's interesting that this drawing came back. Last we saw it, I'm pretty sure Nagatoro was just sort of like stealing his sketchbook and like that was that. Ooh. This is an interesting turning of the tables here. Senpai is stipulating the outfit and that she has to assemble the outfit. He's actually calling her bluff. She has to wear the stupid Catgirl outfit. Obviously, he's thinking that, one, she's never gonna do it, and two, even if she was willing to do it, she wouldn't be able to. But man, this is interesting. Senpai's the one getting all smug over here. Man, that she would actually do this, I think, speaks to the level of, I guess you'd call it devotion. Man, you can't even really say that this whole thing backfired on Senpai, because any way you look at it, he is the objective winner of this confrontation. Man. So he's trying to, like, nitpick it a little bit. Like, this isn't exactly what I wanted, so I can't do it. Man, I feel like this is just prime blackmail material. Like, once all her friends see this, they're never gonna let anyone live it down. So I find it interesting that this is for the Culture Festival. Why would Nagatoro in a Catgirl outfit be considered culture? I mean, it's kind of interesting and nothing else, but I feel like that sort of thing might be frowned upon. I don't know. Oh dear. Seems like Nagatoro's friend never learns. She's messing around with the gaming club again. Man, I feel like nobody's learning from their past mistakes here. So it seems like the art club here is making art, but as with everything else in his life, there seems to be some sort of taskmaster here that's telling Senpai what to do here. Okay. Oh. Oh no, it seems like Nagatoro might have a bit of competition. Ooh, the plot thickens. So, there's this woman that Senpai admires, and at the same time, she's taking time away from the club to focus on her studies, and has sort of passed down responsibility to him. So, that everything needs to be good is relying almost entirely on him. And he's decided that Catgirl Nagatoro is the way to go. I mean, perhaps he's not wrong, but at the same time, it seems like they were doing more like still life and landscape painting last year rather than, I don't even know what you'd call it, like figure painting. So even beyond like this whole possibility of an art gallery, it seems like Senpai's not even fully fleshed out the concept of what they're going to be doing. Yeah, I feel like Senpai is cruising for trouble here by getting input from all these girls. Oh dear. You know what? I was I was gonna say, like, this seems like two wolves and a lamb deciding what's for dinner here in terms of how they're going to democratically decide what to do. Uh-oh. Yeah, something's going on here, and it's definitely not good. I feel like Senpai's been a little too lax with the rules, considering that it would seem as though the art club president is approaching, and he's having a bunch of people over that he shouldn't be. Oh dear. I feel like this is going to be very interesting indeed. I feel like she's naturally going to sort of like notice that the art room is in a bit of a slovenly state, and naturally this will all be his fault. She's definitely a sort of like all business kind of person. Oh dear. Yeah, like it's already immediately apparent that Nagatoro is going to have some competition. Yikes. Yeah, she's really just leaving everything up to him. That's not a super great idea. Man. Yep, there we have it. The art club has become a refuge for unsavory characters, as she put it. Yeah, there we have it. The art club president is a taskmaster. Art is serious business after all. There is no fun allowed. Oh boy. So this goes even higher than just the president. This goes to the student council, and they're saying, hey, you guys gotta get it together. Wow. Alright, yeah, stakes are pretty high now. If you don't want to take the club seriously, then we'll just disband the entire thing. Jeez. So in a way, this is kind of like the worst case scenario. Nagatoro has decided to show herself and intercede on Senpai's behalf. Oh dear. Yet, nobody's mincing any words here. You know, it's interesting that Nagatoro is so invested in the goings-on of this club, even though she's not a member. I guess it speaks to how much she actually cares about Senpai, considering that this is something he enjoys. You know, maybe some of it is like residual guilt, considering that whenever there's something distracting him from art, it's usually her or her friends. So this is very interesting here. You know, it seems like, despite sort of helping Senpai, she's also sort of escalated things a bit, because now Senpai has to make an art exhibit all on his own. The idea being that he sort of has to have a better showing than the president if he wants the club to persist. You know, this is, in a sense, the final boss, as it were. If he can do better than the club president, then that is evidence of his dedication to his craft. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. See you, Space Cowboy.